While the threat of thunderstorms tonight looks low, that may not be the case Wednesday evening. Coming up in this newscast, I'll break down the timing of the potential for severe weather Wednesday night.
Plus, dismantling stereotypes. We sit down with community leader Dr. Alex G. for a look at his podcast. And later, a Verona resident getting a breath of fresh air thanks to UW Health's lung transplant program. You're watching News 3 Now at 6. Well, good evening. Thanks for being with us. We begin with southern Wisconsin facing chances for severe storms this week. The heat and humidity are also sticking around, making for some uncomfortable conditions. For the latest on today's weather, let's get your first warn forecast. Chief Meteorologist Alex Harrington on the weather patio. Alex?
Eric, yeah, out here in the patio, it's muggy, definitely. We had a little bit of a breeze just as I stepped out here. It felt good for a second, but that has since gone away. It's that calm, still, real muggy, soupy feeling out there. The good news is the severe weather threat, while the Storm Prediction Center has a marginal risk for severe weather across southern Wisconsin. I mentioned yesterday that the better chance was going to be over Iowa and Illinois, and we had storms earlier today that scooted to the south and the west of the area, as I anticipated. The likelihood of redevelopment tonight is not very high at this point in time, thinking much of tonight is going to be dry, which is going to be good news for southern Wisconsin. We don't need any more heavy rainfall. We certainly don't need any more severe weather with the way this severe weather season has acted up. Future track verifying maybe a pop-up thunderstorm or two, and if a storm does pop up, it could get strong briefly, but we're not expecting widespread severe weather tonight. Eric, you mentioned it's warm. 86, yes, that's warm. And when the dew point is 71 degrees, that makes it feel like the low to mid 90s out there. And with not much of a breeze out there, there's not a whole lot of help in that department. Temperatures tonight will go down into the 70s. We'll end the night at 69 degrees. An isolated shower or thunderstorm cannot be ruled out, but again, widespread thunderstorm activity not expected. This time, tomorrow night, looking good for concerts on the square. We'll be between storm chances. Could have a few storms Wednesday morning. And then we're tracking a better chance for thunderstorms, some severe possible Wednesday evening. I have all those details in a few minutes.
Alex, thank you. And stay up to date on the weather with our First Warn Forecast weather app, hourly forecast road conditions, and the latest radar. You can download it for free in your phone's app store. Just search WISC weather. And tomorrow is the season grand finale of the Wisconsin Chamber Orchestra's concerts on the square, and we'll have live coverage of the iconic Rhapsody in Blue with special guest pianist John Novacek. Organizers say any weather-related decisions will be made tomorrow in the afternoon hours. Make sure to stay with Channel 3000 both on air and online for the latest updates on tomorrow's concert's status. Fitchburg police say they arrested a woman for allegedly stabbing another woman outside an apartment building. Officers were called to Post Road about 2 this morning. And there they found evidence of a stabbing in a parking lot but could not find a victim. A little later, a 911 call led officers to the 22-year-old victim. She was taken to the hospital with serious but non-life-threatening injuries. Officers later arrested the suspect at the Post Road apartment building. She faces a charge of first-degree recklessly endangering safety and substantial battery. An Elkhorn woman is facing charges for her alleged role in a deadly Rock County crash that left 4 people dead. 24-year-old Lexus Bodeker faces multiple charges, including 4 counts of homicide by intoxicated use of a vehicle. The charges stem from a 3-vehicle crash that occurred in Lyman Township back on April 13th. 3 people died at the scene of the crash. 1 died a few days later. Bodeker scheduled to make a court appearance on August 26th. The Wisconsin Department of Financial Institutions is launching a new tool to help spot and avoid financial scams. The Investment Scam Tracker includes descriptions of scams based on consumer complaints reported to the DFI. With the tracker, a person can search a company name, a scam type, or a keyword. It also includes frequently asked questions and links to additional resources. DFI says imposter scams are the most reported and often the most difficult to detect. A community leader in Madison is using his voice to dismantle stereotypes. Dr. Alex G. is a pastor, entrepreneur, and more. Tanisha Shaw sat down with him ahead of the season premiere of his podcast, Black Like Me.
A church service usually consists of prayer, worship, and of course, a sermon. A Madison pastor is stepping outside of this pulpit to tell everyone a message about representation. Dr. Alex G. is the lead pastor of Fountain of Life Church on the city's south side. Outside of his ministry, he hosts a podcast.
If you want to understand the Black perspective from Black people in the world today, right now, listen to Black Like Me podcast.
The podcast creates a safe space and promotes inclusivity through the lens of a Black man. Season 10 premieres this Tuesday and will tackle prevalent issues like police brutality and the 2024 presidential election.
So that will be a big part of what we discuss, because we'll want to interpret the subtext, the dog whistle things when people are saying things, but they're really talking about black women specifically, and it may or may not be about her politics. And so I feel that we have an opportunity to have a running color commentary, as well as just explaining the significance of her voice, that platform, and what it can mean for the nation, not just for black people, but what it can mean for the nation and the world.
When Dr. G isn't working on his podcast, he's preparing for the Center for Black Excellence and Culture. Construction is expected to start in the next coming days.
That's Tanisha Shaw reporting, and tonight Dr. G will have a live taping of the podcast at Cafe Coda at 7, and admission is free. Well, starting today, absentee voting sites are now open. It marks 2 weeks from the day of the primary election in August. To get an absentee ballot, you'll need to show a valid ID. If you're not sure whether you have what's required, you can find a list of valid IDs on the City of Madison website, and there you'll also find a list of early voting locations. You can vote early from now until the Sunday before Election Day. You cannot, however, register to vote this Saturday, Sunday, or Monday before Election Day, but people voting on August 13th can register day of at the polls. For more information on where to cast your vote and when those locations are open, head to the link to this story at channel3000.com. Needing a transplant is a waiting game no one wants to play, but having a good teammate can make things easier. And luckily for those needing lung transplants, UW Health was recently rated as having the best survival rate for lung transplants in the entire country. Our Jalen Banks shares the story with us on how they were able to breathe life again into one Verona resident. Jalen?
Eric Devin Osborne is a husband, father, and grandfather, and for some time that was put in jeopardy due to his need for a lung transplant. Thanks to UW Health's lung transplant program, he's still able to be here for those he loves. UW Health's lung transplant program ranks #1 in the country. That's according to the Scientific Registry of Transplant Recipients. It's a national quality tracker overseen by the Federal Department of Health and Human Services. UW Health's program has a 95% one-year post-transplant survival rate, and it attributes a portion of the success to an approach beyond the science of it all.
Taking these patients into the fold like they're a member of our family has been, really one of the unique things that we provide.
This approach breathed new life into Devin Osborne of Verona, who's had a long history of lung issues.
About 25 years ago, I started feeling short of breath, and after many years, was finally diagnosed as interstitial lung disease. So it was a very slow, progressive 20-year process. But then in 2020, I got COVID.
And Osborne knew it was time for a transplant. And after finding a match, his life would change forever.
It's not for the faint at heart. It's, one of the toughest surgeries you can possibly go through. And the recovery is very long. I lost 22 pounds. I had almost no muscle mass left. And so you're almost starting over from scratch.
But he dug deep and built himself back up.
It was a tough journey, but here we are almost 21 months later, and, I'm walking 5 miles, I'm lifting weights, I'm doing everything around my house, I'm flying up and down stairs. It's just an absolute miracle.
And Devin says, most importantly, he wants to thank his donor, because without them, he may not be here today.
Great story, Jalen. Thank you. Coming up on News 3 Now at 6, the U.S. Senate passes legislation to help protect children online. Plus, the Wisconsin Department of Public Instruction releases new data showing how youth are dealing with mental health challenges. Stay with us.
You're watching News 3 Now at 6, brought to you by Gruber Law Offices.
After a serious accident, you'll need a winning team to protect your rights. Trust Wisconsin's own Gruber Law Offices, proud partner of your Milwaukee Brewers. One call, that's all.
When you need to relax and recharge your body and mind, retreat to the comfort of stressless furniture at the Century House. Designed to harmonize with the natural movements of your body, it's where true comfort begins and every day should end. Get a $100 instant rebate for every $1,000 spent and $200 off 4 dining chairs at the Century House, 3420 University Avenue in Madison.
all you want is some relief. Relief from the heat outside, relief from sleepless nights, and relief from big electric bills. Even your air conditioning unit needs some relief. So when you wrap your home with our premium injection foam, it's like putting your entire house in a cooler. It keeps the hot air out, the cool air in, and your electric bills lower. And right now, when we foam your walls, we'll insulate your attic for free.
USA Insulation.
Our country has taken a beating the last few years, but I know we can turn it around. It'll take a lot of hard work like these athletes put in. We need to get serious about our spending that has caused prices to skyrocket. We need to fix our healthcare and address the shortage of affordable housing. Also, we must close our border, stop the flow of fentanyl, and put Americans first. I'm Eric Hovde. I approve this message. Let's get America winning gold again.
There's a lot to love about life in the 608. Fundraisers, farmers markets, family events.
Tell Josh what inspires you, and it might be featured on News 3 Now this morning in the 608. Weekdays only on News 3 Now this morning. You're watching News 3 Now at 6.
Welcome back. The U.S. Senate took social media platforms to task today, voting in favor of bipartisan legislation to protect children and teens online.
The ayes are 91, the nays are 3, and the motion is agreed to.
Senators overwhelmingly supported the bill, calling this first major tech reform legislation in decades a new era of accountability. Parents of children who died by suicide or have otherwise been harmed online have been advocating for change for years.
Young people will take back control over their online lives. Parents will have tools to safeguard those young people. They will be able to disconnect from the addictive features and opt out of those black box algorithms that drive at them relentlessly.
And it requires these platforms to go through an audit every single year to make certain that they are complying with the law.
House members return to work in Washington next month. Republican Speaker Mike Johnson of Louisiana says he is, quote, committed to working to find consensus. New data from the Department of Public Instruction shows Wisconsin students are facing severe mental health issues. In a 2023 Youth Risk Behavior Survey, 59% of high schoolers experienced at least one mental health challenge in the past year. There have also been significant increases in anxiety, depression, and self-harm. LGBTQ and female students reported even higher levels of distress.
Wisconsin youth, we hear you. We see you. We know many of you are struggling. We have what it takes to support you and help you through any challenges that you may be facing. It's not just that we can do better, it's that we must do better.
Survey also notes rising screen time and decreased sleep among students as risk factors. 1 in 5 students reported 5 or fewer hours of sleep each night. Still ahead, the Consumer Product Safety Commission ruling against Amazon. The new order impacting every item sold on the Amazon website. Plus, the Black Chamber of Commerce prepares to celebrate Black Business Week, what it means for the community. And how much rain can we expect from these upcoming storms? Alex returns with the answer after a short break.
They don't clock out at 5 or care if it's the weekend. That means we keep working too.
So when Eric Hovde says that farmers don't work hard, that pisses me off.
Think of farming. Look at the old physical toil that it would take on your body. Now you're largely driving around a tractor.
A California banker criticizing Wisconsin farmers for not working hard? We know what that is.
Eric Hovde, what the hell's wrong with this guy?
I'm Tammy Baldwin, and I approve this message.
Now 5, now 15, now 5.
Experience the thrill of a live auction and get a great deal on an RV. The Ultimate RV Auction is being hosted at Camping World in Madison, Wisconsin, Friday, August 2nd at 1 p.m. Central Time. Over 100 RVs are up for grabs with bids starting at $1 and no reserves on select units. Bid in person or online at cwauctions.com. Pre-bidding is going on now. Preview the inventory and place your bid today.
What's up? You need some windows?
Home. Oh, you need windows. Yes, you do.
Hey folks, you call the experts? Increase your curb appeal and save big this summer with free installation on windows, siding, doors, and roofing. Plus, no interest for 5 years. And we'll get it done Feldco fast. Free installation ends Wednesday. Call now.
Call 866 for Feldco.
The Buy More, Save More sale is back. It's the best time to refresh your whole house because the more you buy, the more you save. You can take up to $300 off your purchase of bedroom, dining, sofas, home office, and so much more. Use Steinhaffel's 60-month financing to make your dream room even more affordable. The Buy More, Save More sale, only at Steinhaffel's. Shop in-store or online at steinhaffels.com.
Empire's quality and customer service were absolutely amazing. The installers were so conscientious. I have and I will continue to recommend Empire.
800-588-2300 Empire.
Today. Learning to play better golf can be a challenge for anyone, so let PGA professional Joel Whites improve your play the fundamental way with simple 1-minute golf tips. Fridays on News 3 Now at noon. Brought to you by Vitence Golfland. You're watching News 3 Now at 6.
August is Black Business Month, and the Black Chamber of Commerce is making a special week to celebrate. Our Merrill Hubbard talked to organizers this morning and is now outside to show us some restaurants that are participating in this celebratory week.
Yeah, Eric, I'm at JD's Taste of Chicago, which is just 1 out of 30 Black-owned businesses where people can get special deals during Black Business Week. This morning, I spoke with people from the Black Chamber of Commerce to learn more about what we can expect during this week-long event. They told me to save the date for August 11th through 18th because this will be the 9th annual Black Business Week. This means special deals and menus at dozens of Black-owned businesses here in Madison. The Black Chamber of Commerce has been working with these vendors to help them grow. I met an organizer and business owner that told me what it means to have this week dedicated to their business.
What it offers is the ability for some of the businesses who haven't had a high level of visibility to be seen, to be promoted, to network with other businesses. Being in a predominantly Caucasian city is really important that we promote more Black businesses and minority businesses as well.
I've pretty much been with them for 5 years. They've been just wonderful to me. I was at 2817 East Washington, so it was like a share kitchen, and now I have my own location. So I did all that in 6 years.
To top the week off, there will also be a jamboree on August 18th at Olin Park where you can experience at least 50 different restaurants and vendors. If you are a business owner that wants to get in on the action, you can also attend a mixer that the Black Chamber of Commerce is hosting on August 21st. Reporting in Madison, I'm Meryl Hubbard, News 3 Now.
Meryl, thank you. Amazon is now responsible for unsafe or faulty products that are sold on its website and the Amazon app. In a unanimous vote, the Consumer Product Safety Commission issued a decision and order against Amazon.com Inc. Officials say they found more than 400,000 defective products sold on Amazon. The list includes carbon monoxide detectors that didn't sound, several kinds of children's pajamas that turned out to be flammable. The CPSC decision means Amazon is now forced to issue recalls on these items or face potential legal consequences. More rain and storm chances heading our way this week. Alex now with the complete First Warn forecast.
Good evening, Eric. Good evening, southern Wisconsin. I have some good news to share. We might dodge a lot of these showers and thunderstorms this week, and I'm going to explain here in this forecast. First, today's thunderstorms, as we mentioned yesterday, first to let you know that they scooted across Iowa going down into Illinois, and we've struggled to have redevelopment across southern Wisconsin. And then you often will look off to the west to see are there any other storms that might be moving in our direction with our river of air, the jet stream. This is where we would be looking for additional thunderstorms way out over the Dakotas that might make it into southern Wisconsin as early as the wee hours, daybreak on Wednesday. Future track not showing much in the way of any activity for the rest of this evening across southern Wisconsin. We lack that lift. We lack that kick for showers and thunderstorms, even though it's so warm and so humid out there. Even meant to show all of southern Wisconsin, but we have heat index values low to mid 90s across much of Dane County. That goes to show just how humid it is out there. There is a lot of energy for thunderstorm activity, but we just don't have the kick or the lift for those thunderstorms. 86 in Madison. When that dew point gets to 71, that makes it feels like, as we were showing you just moments ago, the lower 90s. Planning the rest of the night tonight, an isolated storm cannot be ruled out across southern Wisconsin, including Madison, with temperatures staying very muggy, right around 69 to start off Wednesday. You might be wondering and tuning in, what about concerts on the square, Alex? Could have some storms in the morning, a big break during the day, and then maybe some thunderstorms after the concert. Right now, latest thinkings are it's going to be warm and humid and uncomfortable for this last concerts on the square, but we likely will sneak the show in between rounds of thunderstorms. Let's take a look at that. Future track, 6 o'clock in the morning. Clouds building in. This could be the leftover or accompanied with a few thunderstorms that are way out in the Dakotas right now. So we could start the day off with a few thunderstorms. With that break, we prime, we warm up, we get humid, mid-80s by the time we get into the early afternoon hours, mid to upper 80s for highs, heat index values, mid to upper 90s. So definitely plan coming to concerts on the square with some ways to stay cool, hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. Here comes the thunderstorms moving towards the Mississippi River at 7:30 in the evening. But watch what happens here. Those storms fizzle and part of it dives off towards the south in Iowa and Illinois again. It is a possibility that that scenario could occur, and if it does, then that would mean southern Wisconsin may dodge that line of thunderstorms. Eric was mentioning how much water can we get. If that scenario pans out, the better chances for the heavier rain will be out to the west in Minnesota and Iowa. Again, we may dodge that line of thunderstorms Wednesday evening, which would be good news for southern Wisconsin. We don't need any more severe weather. The threat is there Wednesday evening. Don't get me wrong, marginal risk of severe weather and on Thursday. But let's just briefly break this back down here as we head towards Thursday. If we do get storms Wednesday night and they hang around too long into Thursday, that rule of thumb, it's got to clear out by noon. We may not get redevelopment on Thursday as well. So just throwing all of these possibilities out there. There is the threat for storms. We'll be keeping an eye on each round because each round impacts the next round. Good news is if you want some dry weather, by the time we head to Saturday, it's going to be warm but dry.
All right, Alex, thank you. Noted Green Bay Packer fan, rapper Lil Wayne will be taking his talents to Milwaukee this fall. The rapper will take the stage at Fiserv Forum alongside rapper Saweetie and rock band Selfish Sons. It'll be October 19th. Lil Wayne's a 5-time Grammy Award winner, sold over 100 million records worldwide. Tickets will go on sale to general public Friday, 10 a.m. on the Fiserv Forum website.
And coming up in sports, bronze for a Badger. How a former two-sport athlete at Wisconsin made USA Olympic history. That's next on News 3 Now.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
If you're about to replace your roof, stop. There's a solution about 80% less expensive. 9 out of 10 roofs can be saved by RoofMax. Guaranteed to extend the life of your current roof by 5 to 15 years at a fraction of the cost of a new roof. RoofMax's deep penetrating power restores flexibility and water protection. Nobody wants to replace their roof. Restore it instead with RoofMax for 80% less. Call now for a free roof inspection.
Joe Biden put Kamala Harris in charge of the border.
We have a secure border.
On Kamala's watch, illegal border crossings hit record highs. Criminal illegal aliens are murdering Americans. Cartels are poisoning kids. And illegals are receiving taxpayer benefits and putting more burdens on hardworking taxpayers.
We have a secure border.
Kamala Harris is dishonest and dangerous. Preserve America PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Want to instantly look more attractive and years younger? The solution is whiter teeth. But you love coffee and tea, maybe even wine or smoking, and all of them stain your teeth and make them yellow. It's time you discovered Power Swabs, the fast 5-minute revolutionary treatment.
The first time I tried it, I was so surprised. My husband was so excited that he wanted to run out and get it. He said, what have you been trying? I said, well, I've tried this product called Power Swab. And he said, I can't believe how white your teeth are. From that point on, I've been sold.
Power Swabs are guaranteed to whiten your teeth up to 2 shades after the first application. After 5-minute daily treatments for the next week, your teeth will be an average of 6 shades whiter. Power Swabs will whiten natural teeth and remove stains from veneers, bonding, caps, and crowns.
This is a Power Swab smile.
This is a Power Swab smile.
Call, go online, or scan the code on your screen right now to receive 50% off. You'll also receive the Power Swab Stain Out Quick Stick, absolutely free. And in addition, you will also get free shipping.
Dad, are you certain this is gonna work?
Nothing to it.
Are you for imprint certain?
Certainty matters, like the certainty of 4imprint, your home for high-quality promotional gear, including exclusive items and brands they love. Printed perfectly and guaranteed to arrive on time. To wow your clients, nail your next event, or inspire your team, check out 4imprint.com.
4imprint for certain.
Badgers made the hour bus ride south on Monday, and this morning kicked off the first practice of fall camp during their 2-week stay at UW-Platteville. It's a trip that they're looking forward to. The food was a hit last year, and what's better than football 24/7? Not much for this group, who's a little better prepared for their stay this time around.
I've made improvements this year. Brought 2 pillows instead of 1. Brought my own blanket. Brought my own soap. Brought my own towel. So I'm much more geared up and ready to go this year.
Food was great there. I remember that. Just breakfast, lunch, dinner, snack. Like the cooks, chefs there out over there was really good. One thing Coach Fick wanted to do is make sure we know each other as brothers, you know, and got like the hero hardship highlight thing, and we get to express ourselves, our backgrounds, get to understand each other deeply, and understand our why and what our mission here to do.
Meanwhile, Hunter Wohler was named to the preseason watch list for the Nagurski Trophy, which is given to the National Defensive Player of the Year. Last year, Wohler led the Badgers in tackles with 120 and picked off 2 passes. Up in Green Bay, the Packers already in week 2 of their training camp, preparing for a season with, of course, those high expectations. And for star cornerback Jair Alexander, he's already manifesting a plan on how he'd like to celebrate his 28th birthday.
I mean, you know, it's hard to say right now, man, but, you know, at the end of the day, I see us hosting that trophy on my birthday, February 9th.
That trophy as in the Lombardi trophy.
That'd be nice. Packer fans would take it. We're all out of time, folks. For News 3 Now at 6, thanks for joining us. Have a great evening, and we'll be back here tonight at 10.